guys, welcome back to Maverick's Arcade, and as the title suggests, Arzoo's done it again. He's answered our request, and the new version of LEDBlinky has a feature that we requested, and I'm very excited to show it to you. So for a little bit of background, when Al first contacted me about evaluating the Pixelcade, my brain first thought, what kind of cool things am I going to be able to do with this, that my arcade doesn't currently do? And previously, for one of my favorite games, Chase Headquarters, I could have the marquee blink back and forth because there was two separate channels behind that plexiglass that I had created. But I was like, how is that going to work with the Pixelcade? So I looked through all the commands of LEDBlinky and I couldn't find anything to address the Pixelcade during the MAME outputs. So I reached out to Arzoo and I said, hey, does LEDBlinky offer this feature? And he's like, no, it doesn't currently. And then, so I went back and forth and I talked to Al and he's like, I said, Al, do you know a way to do this? And he said, I didn't even know the LEDBlinky supported the MAME output events at all. And I said, okay. So then Al and I and Arzoo and I had communications back and forth trying to figure the best way out. And I know Arzoo and Al also talk to each other. But basically, it ended up being Arzoo and I going back and forth. Like I'm trying to express to him what it is I'm looking for. And he had two different beta versions that we tried, but it wasn't exactly doing what I was looking to do. But it did answer some other use cases of how we could use it. But in the end, he delivered the beta that I am now going to show you, or that I'm going to show you, that does the feature, and it's going to be in the next release of LEDBlinky, which should be the week of this filming. So I'm really excited to show it to you, but the first thing we got to do is make our custom graphics for it. So let me get over there and show you how to do that now. All right, so we're going to go over to the desktop, and the first thing we're going to do is show you that I'm shamelessly self-promoting my streaming on Facebook Gaming and on Twitch. You can find me on both locations under Maverick's Hideout. So now that the shameless self-promotion's out of the way, let's look at what the original marquee looked like for the Chase Headquarters. So this is the original marquee, and as you can see, they have police lights on each side. Now, what would happen in the game is behind that marquee, there was two lamps, lamp 0 and lamp 1. And when in the game you would pull the little siren out and put it on top of your car, they would flash like police wigwag lights. And then basically when the siren is put away, they just go back to a very dimly lit state. So I've never claimed to be an artist. I've never claimed to be good at graphics. So I made my own version, and it's not as nice as this because we're dealing with this lower resolution. And when I tried to copy this graphic, it just did not come out well. So this is what I came up with in Photoshop. And that's just me typing out Chase Headquarters, but it's the same idea. You have a left side and a right side that have police lights that are dimly lit. And basically, I'm making an animated GIF for use with the Pixelcade. Now, when this frame here is what I use for the standard graphic. So I save a copy of this file as just the Chase HQ. And then I added a couple of frames and saved a GIF file that's animated for when the siren is on top of the car. So as you can see, I've got a couple frames down here on the bottom, and the frame 1 is both lights off. Frame 2 will be the blue light lit only, off, then on again, then off, and then the right side off, then on again. So that way, when played in sequence, it'll go flash, 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 and repeat. So let's go look at that over. Let me do file open to get the file path. So this file path, let's go there and I'll show you what I've got. Open this up. We'll go over here. And again, the resolution of this is 128 pixels by 32 pixels because that is the resolution of the Pixelcade device. So if you want to make any graphics for the Pixelcade, make sure to do it in the resolution of 128 by 32. So let's look. Here's my individual frames. And again, the off graphic is just this Chase HQ PNG. We'll zoom way in. And that's the graphic for the off state. We then have the animated GIF that I outputted, and as you can see, it blinks like that. Now, due to the camera, that's the reason why it didn't look as much of a difference during that intro clip, is because the camera that I'm using just doesn't capture it as well, and it doesn't look as good as you would see in person. All right, so here you can see by default, there's an animated graphic. So when you first download all the Pixelcade graphics, by default, it does this animated graphic, and there's also this graphic of Chase HQ, and it'll rotate between those. But to show you the default behavior, let's go ahead and get this game to the point where it pulls out the little siren, and you can see what the default behavior is like. Please note, I won't play horribly because I'm doing this from my keyboard. We're also going to create a save game state so we can easily get back to this point for the next one. We're going to speed up here until we get to that point, though. Meant to at least get to that point.
Spinner or steering wheel and paddle or steering wheel and pedal.
Nancy, we got the suspect in our sights. Over. Let's get moving, man. More. Push it.
Spinner or steering wheel and paddle or steering wheel and pedal.
So we did this once before, and I'm going to try to continue to do it in every video. And it's just kind of like looking around the arcade community, and if I see something really cool, to make sure to share it with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and actually try to find something to put into every video, just to kind of like engage myself more in the arcade community. I'm really bad about that. I need to be better about marketing myself and kind of being more interactive. But in any case, I was checking out MAME Cabinet Builder, MAME Arcade Cabinet Builders. It's on Facebook. It's a great group. It's got a lot of people just sharing the stuff they're building and customizing. But anyway, I'm just kind of like browsing through there, and I saw something that just like shocked me, because as I've discussed before, I'm not great with woodworking. I'm just kind of like muddling through. So, I come across this picture here, and I'm like, what the hell? How did he do that? Did he like steam the wood like they would with a boat, or, you know, all that? So I started looking through the pictures, and you can see he kind of like cuts little notches out and then like folds it. And I was just really impressed. And I messaged him and I said, hey, look, my name is Chuck. I run a channel. Do you mind if I share this on my next video? And he was thrilled. He said, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. And it's funny, he goes like, I'm already familiar with you because your videos helped me a lot when I was first starting out in 2020. And I was just like, oh my God, somebody actually that I reached out to already was familiar with my videos. So that was a first time. So a little ding achievement for that. And then we just continued and went on and talking. He's like, yeah, definitely go ahead and share it. And he's like, definitely, if you would call out my Instagram page, it's Arcade Army, and that his son came up with that name. And it's really cool because it's just like me with my kids. You know, I like sharing with them some of the projects that we work on, and you know, some of the classic games. So it was just really cool. And like I said, I wanted to share this because it's just one day. I'm gonna have a garage with all the tools and actually like learn how to make things a lot cleaner. And I'll definitely be watching his projects and watching his Instagram for the various things he's coming up with. But if you get a chance, check it out. The description's in the link below. And let me know in the comments below, one, what you think about how he's doing that, and two, if you'd like me to continue doing this, kind of community spotlight segment in my videos, if you find it enjoyable or not. Anyway, back to our video.
Spinner or steering wheel and paddle or steering wheel and pedal.
Nancy, we got the suspect in our sights. Over. Let's get moving, man. More. Push it more. Please. Oh, bear down. Ouch. One more time. Okay.
So we got him.
You're under arrest.
Again,
on suspicion
really
of
difficult
first
without the
degree
wheel. As you can see, the lights are doing nothing in the default state, or the Pixelcade doesn't do anything in the default state. So now let's go change that. All right, so we're now over on the arcade machine. And remember, whenever you create any custom graphics for the Pixelcade, you want to keep a copy of those graphics in a separate folder. That way, if you do the update and your files get overwritten, you have a copy to put back. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our custom art folder, which I see an item here already up there, but this is the location for that custom pixel art I keep on my D drive in this custom pixel custom art folder. And then I have one folder I made for Chase HQ. So as you can see, we have our standard PNG file right here. And we have our animated version right here. Now, as you saw in the previous clip, there was default graphics already in place that we have downloaded. So we're going to have to replace those. So to do that, we're going to go to the location where Pixelcade graphics are held, which is alongside where my LEDBlinky is. And then inside a folder called MAME, because this is the MAME version, we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for Chase HQ. Now, there is usually Chase HQ and there's an Chase HQU. The difference is going to be whichever the name of the ROM is that gets picked up by LEDBlinky is the one we're changing. So in my case, the version of Chase HQ that I have is just the Chase HQ, not the J or the U. So we're scrolling down. We're looking for those Chase HQ graphics. Now we're scrolling up. So here it is. Chase HQ. Oh, that's the J. That's not the one we want. Chase HQ2. Here's just Chase HQ PNG. And here's Chase HQ GIF. Now GIF is the animated file that we saw. And this is the static graphic that we saw. So we're going to basically just rename this and add a dash no longer used to that. And then we're going to go to the other one right here. And we're going to say dash no longer used. So now LEDBlinky won't be able to find the graphic when it looks for Chase HQ. We're going to now put a copy, not move, we're going to copy the Chase HQ to this folder. And for the other folder, what we're going to do is we're going to go up. We're going to go into a folder called user. You will see why in a moment. So under user, we're going to drop in copy the chasehq-animated.gif. All right, so now we're going to actually put the commands into the MAME Outputs file. So go into your LEDBlinky folder and go into the MAME Outputs INI right here. And down on the bottom, you can see we have our chase headquarters commands that we've modified in the previous video where we first got the lights going all sorts of crazy. And we're going to look at the PDF file that has the instructions on how to configure. Now, this has just been added, and this is not the most up-to-date copy for this latest beta that he sent me. But it's got some of the initial Pixelcade stuff there. And I need to let him know about this little typo. But basically, here's the gist of it. So the Pixelcade command, user animation, text, console, arcade, clear, or raw, is basically telling the Pixelcade command in LEDBlinky how it's going to work or find things. So the user, when you specify user, then it's telling the system to go to look in the Pixelcade user folder to find the graphic you're talking about. Animation, very similar, the Pixelcade/animations folder. Now, if you choose text, what that'll do is that'll actually just display the specific text that you're looking to show. But the text color and the speed are set within the configuration of LEDBlinky. But if you specify text, it's literally just going to show the text that you type. So now for console, arcade, and clear, it does the following. If you type in console, it's going to show the name of the emulator or the graphic. If you display arcade, it's going to display whatever the ROM is for the current game. So that would be the ROM that is picked up when you're scrolling through the list of games. It'll redisplay that one. And clear basically says blank the display. So the raw feature allows you to actually send a command directly to the API for Pixelcade. You can find that documentation on Pixelcade's website. But if you do find a command that you want to send directly to the Pixelcade, this is how you would do it. You would use the raw command and put in that string. Now there is a warning specified here letting you know that if there's too much action going on at once being sent to the Pixelcade, it can jam things up and kind of freeze the Pixelcade. And this is also why Arzoo and I ended up going back and forth trying to figure out how to get this working, is because in some of the initial steps, it was to send an on and off command. And then we went through trying to maybe ignore commands for a while. And then it basically came down to we need to watch for the activity to cease. You know, not act on the activity, basically act on the initial command and then wait until all the activity is finished to do an off state. So for some games where the light may go steady and stay on for a long period of time and then go off, then an on command and an off command works perfectly fine. But in a game where I'm trying to basically replace the wigwag, which in the back end of the arcade is sending a signal every half second, the Pixelcade would not be able to keep up with that. So the answer to that is to make an animated graphic, and when the action first occurs, display that animated graphic, and then basically leave it on until the activity time has expired and there's been no activity to that lamp on the backside. And once that no activity has occurred over a time period, then go back to the original state. So that's what we're doing here for Chase Headquarters. And I will show you that now. So let's go ahead and shrink down this instruction, and we're back in this file. And what we're going to type in here is we're going to type in lamp 0. We don't need to track both lamps. Again, we're looking for activity. The original game says lamp 1 on, lamp 0 off, lamp 1 off, lamp 0 on. And it does that like super fast. So again, we're just looking for that activity to stop. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in Pixelcade, comma, we're going to grab the animated file out of the user folder. So we're going to type in user, and the name of the file is chasehq-animated.gif. And again, the parameter is optional, but I like to specify this is what we're going to use for the on command. Remember, 1 is on, 0 is off. Now, this is a command that is not yet documented in the file that I have, but Pixelcade, when the activity is ceased, we want it to again display the normal graphic, which we've replaced with that static image. Remember, we renamed the originals, put our graphic in there, and that's the static graphic. So we're going to want it to return to that. So we type in arcade. We're going to consider this an on command. I'm not sure exactly why, but here's what we're doing. We're putting in a negative number here. Now, because that activity is so fast, right, we're figuring that 1 second is enough to know that it's been turned off. So again, for every second, that's 1,000 milliseconds, and that's what we're counting by here. So I'm going to put in negative 1,000 milliseconds. So now we're going to save this file, and then we're going to check out how the game works with these settings. All right, so you can see we're back here in our arcade. So we're going to scroll down to Chase Headquarters. You're going to notice that the graphic is now showing our graphic and our graphic only, because we've removed the other graphics and the only thing left for it to choose is ours. So let's go ahead and launch the game.
Chase HQ. Spinner or steering wheel and paddle or steering wheel and pedal.
You can see here, tune in our radio. Now we're going to load that save position that we had. We're going to load from, I think it was slot 3 or 4, right before we got him pulled over. And you're going to see the graphics are going to change once we get in range. You can see almost immediately the Pixelcade started doing the graphics the same way the buttons did. And now basically we're going to let ourselves loose. So we're just going to stop the car here. Let's go. We're going to stop. Not turbo. We're going to stop this one. E. Nope. B. That's my brakes. So we're just going to wait here for a minute. You can see the graphics are doing the wig wag. You can also see that the LED strips that used to be in my old arcade marquee, I have moved to the back of the arcade, so now it's backlighting the wall, just to kind of make things even a little more crazy. I figured since I had done all the programming for the marquee when it was behind the vinyl, I didn't want to lose the LEDs for no reason. So, but by moving them to the back, it makes it even more crazy. I'm going to probably have to start to put an epilepsy warning on my videos, maybe. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think it's getting to that point. But again, you can see that the lights are flashing. It's not as obvious because of the quality of the camera I'm using to shoot the arcade. But in person, you can tell it's definitely a pulsing. But now you can see that the lights are going to shut off. And because we have that second, only 1 second of activity timer set, it almost immediately went back to that static view. So as you can see, he's got everything working. It's just an amazing feature that he's added. I'm really excited about. I'm so happy he was willing to hear the request and to work on it and add that feature. I mean, he didn't have to, and I think that's what's really cool about it. Also, I want to kind of urge you guys, if you happen to have like a clone drive or something that has a registered version, or just that you have the trial edition, make sure to go over there, purchase a copy of it. So one, you have a legit copy, and two, it's helping support the guy that's just like so awesome for the community. I just want to thank you guys as well, because I've been getting such nice comments and people saying thank you, for your videos. They're helping a lot. And that's kind of motivating me to get back into a rhythm of making videos. So definitely, if you've not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit that and turn on that notification so that you'll get notes about when new videos come out. I'm trying to get a little more consistent about the delivery. So make sure you've done that, and I will continue to try to get more videos out soon. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, there are more videos coming, but in the meantime, if you would, check out my Facebook page. That's where I'm going to post the notifications of upcoming videos and some behind the scenes content. Also, make sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube and leave comments on as many of the videos as you can. That helps kind of prop things up and get it more visible, which of course will help me get back to the point of being able to be monetized, which would be helpful. If also you'd like to get support the channel, I do have a Patreon page if you're interested. And also, if you want to check me out on my Twitch and my Facebook gaming at Maverick's Hideout, you can jump in there if I'm playing a game. If you have a question, go ahead and ask, and I'll see if I can help or if I know the answer offhand. But again, as always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.